from the Webcast One Studios located in the Skywalk system of downtown Des Moines. A worldwide once production. The Bigfoot Diaries Live. Featuring your host, Troy Church.
I don't think he's doing a whole lot of singing with the Tabernacle Choir.
Joining him in the studio is his illustrious sidekick, Shep.
He has hereditary tendencies of the most diabolical kind.
The always dangerous Grant's Tomb.
Dancing is forbidden.
And the real man behind the curtain, Sebekian.
It's such a fine line between stupid and clever. Yeah, it's just a little turnabout.
Do not adjust your resolution. Things are about to get fun.
All right, welcome to the second edition of Bigfoot Diaries Live. We made it to the second round.
Ding, ding.
We have a little mix-up in the studio tonight. We don't have our normal panel of people. Our distinguished guest or our distinguished crew has been pretty much put to the test of showmanship, and they've decided not to come tonight. So we have
failed in that test.
But we do have an extra guest in the studio tonight. We are joined by the usual guys. We got Sebekian.
Hello.
How you doing, Sebekian?
Pretty good.
What's new and
Glad
exciting?
to be here. Grant's Tomb he's changed quite a bit.
Grant's Tomb?
Yeah. Grant. He's no longer the same person I remember.
Oh, well, we have Grant's not here tonight. We have somebody in his place, and I'll be getting to him here in a second. But we have Dave, or I'm sorry, as you all know him, Shep.
Hello.
How's it going, Shep?
Fantastic.
How are the roads coming down tonight?
Not too bad so far. We'll see how they're going back.
Did you have a good music selection?
Yes. Lou Reed and the Angry Simones on the way down. So yeah, it was a nice ride.
Nice.
Yeah.
And we're also joined by Mr. Clean. How you doing, Mr. Clean?
Hey Troy, how you living?
Living large.
I can tell.
This is what happens when you put a bunch of guys who have no idea what they're doing in front of microphones and a camera. So tell me a little bit about yourself, Mr. Clean. What do you do for a living?
Oh, I do the usual, just clean up after people's messes. I do occasional taxes on the side and write music with people.
So you're in a band.
Yeah.
What's the name of your band?
Violent Fade.
Violent Fade. And you guys are an instrumental band. I've seen you guys play. You're actually really good.
Thank you.
You're the bass player?
I do bass and keys for this group.
And do you guys have a singer?
Not at this point. We're having fun just doing instrumental stuff. We might do some vocal work on a hyped up third album. We're actually on album 2 songwriting, and we're recording album 1 right now.
And when will that be released?
Album 1 is expected to be late summer this year. So depending on how fast they want to work.
Mm-hmm.
But
okay. Well, a lot of people don't know. If you don't read the blog, you wouldn't know anyway. Mr. Clean is also a writer for the blog. He does a lot of the reviews that we do for the 80s style metal. He's a guru in that aspect. He knows more about 80s metal than anybody I've ever met in my life. So it makes for a good crew here, because then we got Shep over here who knows more about bands like Captain Beefheart and the Angry Samoans than anybody I've ever met in my life. And then we got Sebekian over here who knows just a little bit about everything, especially the psychedelic and the 80s, the Pink Floyd-ish, King Crimson, that kind of thing. And somehow I fit into the piece here too. But
Well, I think you're more eclectic than any of us, Troy.
Well, eclectic. That's
a big word, I know.
I have to look that one up.
Dave,
what
does
eclectic
often,
mean?
don't worry.
Yeah. Well, no comment. I don't know.
Yeah. So, Dave, you had an interesting weekend. You spent some time in Waterloo, and what did you do up there?
Yeah, I and my wife went to a Elvis tribute artist competition.
Awesome.
They're not Elvis impersonators. That's not the label they go by anymore. I jumped on it just thinking actually that this would be kind of a joke and maybe some good material to write, maybe to hack it to pieces. I don't know. But they turned me around, I got to say I enjoyed it. I respect what these guys are doing. It was pretty cool. It was very cool.
What turned you around?
The shows were good. The musicians were good. The singers were good. The band was good, for one thing. They were loud. It was more of a stripped down type of thing. I mean, guitar, bass, drums, electric piano, you know. The guys had energy, you know, so, you know, my preconception is of Elvis impersonators at the county fair with their karaoke machine and, you know, dark glasses and, you know, maybe a wig. These guys, none of these guys wore wigs.
They had the real hair.
Yeah. They had the real hair. Great bunch of guys. That perfect level of they take what they do serious, but yet they also have a really good sense of humor about it.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So you said there was a band. Did the same band play with every performer?
Yeah, the same band played with every performer. They're called Change of Habit out of Chicago. They do not rehearse with any of the musicians. They just get a list of what is going to be played.
Wow.
And they just go. But there'd be too many musicians to rehearse with, so somebody, you know, say, well, that wasn't fair or whatever. Very tight band, very good.
Did they?
I was impressed.
Yeah. I'm sorry, what was the name of the band again?
Change of Habit.
Change of Habit.
Out of Chicago.
Do they just do exclusive Elvis?
No, they do tribute stuff. Like people, I guess there's Elton John tribute artists, Cher, you name it. I mean, probably anybody that's had a hit record has now got some kind of tribute artist going to them. They just do whatever. They make a living at it.
Speaking of tribute bands, what's your favorite tribute band, Sevekian?
I don't have one.
No?
No.
Would you?
I can't.
I have a funny story. I went and saw Strutter. They're a Kiss
Right.
tribute band, and after the show, a buddy of mine and I went up to talk to the guys, and they had a poster, and the guy asked my buddy, he said, "Do you want me to sign this poster?" And it was the Peter Criss guy. And my friend says, "Are you going to sign it Peter Criss's name or your name?" And the guy goes, "Well, my name." And he's like, "Well, I don't want your name. You know, it means nothing to me." But I mean, that's kind of the mentality in my mind of the tribute band. You know, it's like, are you going for the when you go see a tribute band? Are you going for the almost feeling of euphoria that's there when you see like a tribute? I mean, do you close your eyes and pretend you're actually listening to Elton John, or what? How does that work? Anybody?
We have a Faith No More tribute band. They're called Midlife Crisis. Violent Fate is opening for them May 3rd at House of Bricks. And I'm hoping they hit everything note for note, because I know for a fact that I can. You know, when it comes to the bands that I'd like to see tribute, I hope they do it note for note, so I get every dollar paid into that show as if I'm seeing the real deal. After all, that's what you're dressed up there for. I feel if I were to do a Rush tribute, I'd hope you'd want us to hit everything note for note, and every like Geddy Lee whine and squeal that he does annoyingly.
Well, that's the thing. A band like Rush or Faith No More, it's a little bit more advanced than maybe doing like a Kiss cover band or you know, something like that. So I mean, I can't imagine they would go out there without that ability. I mean, have you heard these guys?
I have. I've heard Midlife Crisis. I like what I've heard. I think they're pretty spot on. But you know, no excuse. If you're going to be a tribute band, you got to hit it note for note. If you're going to, you know, not hit it note for note, you may as well just be a cover band. Then you can do your own version. Nobody's going to judge you.
What if you were a Stooges cover band and you hit like the Drunk Years? Would you have to be note for note then?
Which would be real hard to pull off.
Being Iggy Pop,
I disagree anyway, kind of with you on that, because I'd rather see guys putting their own kind of stamp on what they're doing, maybe, than just absolutely mimicking somebody else. If I want to see Rush, I guess I could go see Rush. You can't do that in every band's case, but
well, no, but you can pay $50 to see Rush, and you can spend $8 to go down the street and see the Rush cover band.
Yeah,
and,
true.
And that's what I'm saying.
Economics probably make this kind of a scene thrive,
or you can listen to the radio, and you know you can hear them on the radio, because I'm guessing they're not going to break out Necronomicon, you know, and stuff from Caressive Steel. You're gonna hear Moving Pictures and Subdivisions, and you know,
correct.
That's just a guess. I don't.
Well, you can spend $25 to see Hairball from Minneapolis dressed like Prince, Freddie Mercury, all that stuff, but $25 for a tribute band, I think that's a bit on the pricey side, whereas, that could have been like a down payment just to see a band like Iron Maiden for how much they cost, like $200 to see them with like Alice Cooper or...
Is that what tickets are going for?
Well, they're not coming to Des Moines anytime soon, so if you want to...
They're getting pretty steep anymore.
The last time Iron Maiden was in Des Moines, at least at Vets Auditorium, they have a big giant collage in the skywalk up by Vets of all the bands. Basically, it's a ticket stub collage. It's really neat. And they have Iron Maiden on there. I think it was in '83, and I believe it was $750 to see Iron Maiden then. So now they're raking in $200 a show, huh?
Right. Well, with
to
to book them, all the costs associated to like fill that in a venue, in a sense, it is economics.
Plus, there's not as many shows too, so they get more bang for their buck.
And now people don't probably buy as many record CDs either for the bands. They
I
download it and rip it. So
I think that happens a lot. But I actually saw an article about how CD sales are actually up at like a 15-year high right now. So I mean. It's almost, and actually vinyl is making, vinyl is a huge comeback
strong.
right now.
Vinyl is making a strong comeback.
I know there's some good vinyl, new records out right now. The Meat Puppets are putting their stuff out on vinyl. I think there's some re-releases of Black Flag that are on vinyl. But, so I saw this, I saw a Doors tribute band here in Des Moines. It's Rich Cantrell and those guys. And they actually pulled it off. I was actually really impressed. And a band like that, that you can't see anymore.
Right.
I can understand the allure to checking them out because you're not going to be able to see the Doors at the state fair. Even if you get Manzarek and Densmore, you're not going to have that same. So any kind of tribute band like that to me I can respect that. But
I can respect what they did. It takes a lot of work, I think, to learn the moves, learn them and get the sound just right.
Well, it's musically, it's hard to duplicate things, I think, I mean,
it's great work. I'm not trying to smash any tribute band or anything like that. It's just not really something I'm probably all that interested in. Surprisingly enough, though, I enjoyed myself the 2 times I've ever seen. I guess, we saw a Beatles tribute band. That was pretty fun, but that was probably more due to you and me than the band. And, this thing, which is maybe a little different, but so I guess maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. I enjoyed myself, but I don't know that I'd go see a Doors tribute band. Maybe, I suppose if the mood hit, whatever, had nothing else to do.
Yeah, it was
the brackets are busted.
It was a block party. It was fantastic actually. I was really impressed because I didn't really think they'd pull it off. I guess the guy in me that doesn't believe in things like that. So there's a word for that. Something I'm drawing a blank on it. Savekian, if you could choose any band to see as a tribute band, who would it be?
I'd like to see somebody cover King Crimson.
Yeah.
I mean, from a technical standpoint, that would be asking quite a bit, especially somebody to fill in the shoes of, say, a Robert Fripp. But that would probably be the one. Zeppelin, sure. I mean,
there are Led Zeppelin.
There are some Zeppelin ones.
There are a number of them.
And I did see a tribute band in Iowa City once for Floyd. I can't remember the name, though, of the band. But they were pretty solid. They covered a lot from The Wall, which was it was pretty intense. But some of that, there's a lot of theatrics. But they had everything prepped in terms of their sound effects and everything. But
there was a band that played at Woolies when it first opened up, and they were called Les Zeppelin. And I believe it was women.
Right.
And
were they?
I didn't go. People who went said they were blown away by it. But then you got bands like Dred Zeppelin, who I wouldn't call them a tribute band.
No.
But they.
No, because they basically.
I don't know. Go ahead, man.
Well, no, I'm just saying they basically take the sound and remix it. Plus throw a little Elvis in there, reggae and all that.
I don't know that I'd even consider, although I didn't see them, Les Zeppelin that, because it seems like they're at least putting their own vibe on it. I mean, there's Black Fag, where they dress in drag and do Black Flag tunes.
Yeah, I mean, at what point does it just become a gimmick? That's and that's not a, we brought up the lesbian and the gay thing, but I mean, we're not knocking on that at all because that's cool. But it's like, at what point does it just become a gimmick and it's not about the music? It's about, hey, it's like the Bloody Hollies, that punk band. It's just.
But they don't do any Buddy Holly tunes, really. They're not a tribute to Buddy Holly in any way. They do their own stuff. The name just sounds kind of cool, I guess.
The Bloody Hollies. I envision plane crashes. It looks like we have a caller, so I'm going to see if we can take this call. And in order to do so, I must put on my headphones. Let me see if I can do this right. Because it looks like we have Sarah on the line. Hello, Sarah.
Hey,
Hey, how you doing?
I am doing great, and I just wanted to plug the
Plug the what?
the Doors tribute band.
Oh, yeah. You saw them?
Yeah.
And you
Yep. It was Halloween. Maybe 2 years ago.
and you were impressed.
It was. Yes, it was awesome.
Well, cool. Was
What
that
songs did they play?
Oh gosh, everything.
See a little bit of a loop there, I think.
Yeah, I don't know what the
Hey, Sarah, can I get you to turn down the volume on your radio? Because what we're having is a lot of feedback, and we're getting like a 10-second delay here.
Okay.
There we go. That's better. I wasn't sure where that was coming from.
Okay. Yeah. No, I just when you were talking about tribute bands, I just wanted to thinking back to any ones that I've seen, and I was just super impressed with the
With the Doors.
yeah.
I think that's the same band I saw, and I was really impressed with that myself, actually. Those guys in Cirrus Minor are outstanding musicians, and I remember watching Rich play when he was with Red Wing and being blown away. And even with Cirrus Minor and this tribute bands they do, I mean, they do nail it. They know what they're doing, for sure.
Did we lose her?
I think she's gone. Well,
bloop.
It's all right. Well, I appreciate
Thanks for the call.
I appreciate you calling in, Sarah. If you want to call in, you can. Our number is 1-855-244-0077. We'd like to hear your opinion on tribute bands, or
Yeah, tell us which ones you would like and which ones you would definitely not pay to see.
And 2 more phone calls, and we've beat our record already from the
Yeah.
last
Right.
show. So
Come on.
let's go there.
well, we actually lost a caller. We had a guy call in last time who called in and listened to the entire show, not to be on the air, but just to listen to the show, and we have no idea who that was. And apparently, he didn't deem us worthy to come back a second time, so he's not here right now.
You never know.
But we do have Mr. Clean, so it's a win-win.
I hope you're right.
Mr. Clean, do you ever listen to Crocus?
Yes, I do.
What do you think about Crocus?
Very nostalgic, What's their album? Is it?
Screaming in the Night?
Yeah. The one with Midnight Maniac and Long Stick Goes Boom. They do School's Out, I believe. Yeah, they cover that. They do like 2 covers,
The Long Stick Goes Boom, is that the Pat Travers? Or wait, no, that's, what's that one from?
Gosh, I don't know. I wasn't sure if that was an AC/DC cover or not, but
Maybe
it
it
is
was.
very AC/DC sounding. Something I'm not too well versed in because I'm a little more of the obscure side of hard rock and metal.
Like, define obscure. Who I'm not picking on you,
No,
but,
go ahead.
but I know that you
what
are.
I'm here for.
You're an absolute scholar when it comes to the 80s hairball genre. I mean, but you don't, you step out of the mainstream. You're
Definitely.
You're behind the scenes with the
We're talking about bands like White Sister, Grim Reaper, Metal Church, Easy-O from Japan, just ones that weren't exactly on the radio, but maybe had a few MTV plays.
And who's your all-time favorite obscure band?
I'd have to say either Accept, not because the second singer teaches me vocal lessons in Minneapolis, but they're a band that's still together today, that still rocks hard at the shows. I actually saw them play Chicago with Sabaton from Sweden 2 years ago. It was an amazing show. If not Accept, I'd probably say Sabotage, but right now Sabotage is... Part of it is Trans-Siberian Orchestra for Christmas shows, and then it's the brother bands, either Metal Church or Circle to Circle. Circle to Circle is Zach Stevens, the second frontman for Sabotage, and Metal Church is the drummer, I believe.
See, I've learned more right now than I did. And that's why I brought you in today. I mean, you do a great job of cleaning floors and
Well, yeah,
counters,
it's by trade.
But who knew that you were such a music encyclopedia? That's pretty neat.
I get that a lot.
we're going to take a break. We're going to break into a commercial here. I got a text from our musical guest. He's in the Skywalk, and he's kind of looking for a way to get here, so I'm going to help him out. But we'll be back in a little bit. We're going to have Jeremiah Tuhn with us from Brolester Records. We're going to talk to him about the record business, which will be fun. And take a little break, and we'll see you in just a couple minutes.
From the Remax Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
Located on 13th Street between Grand and Locust, downtown Des Moines. The Ritual Cafe features an all-vegetarian menu, unique specialty drinks, and they proudly serve organic coffee and espresso. It's the only place in town with all-natural fruit juice smoothies made with hemp nut. They feature live music on the weekends and open mic and unplugged poetry once a month. They also showcase local artists on the wall. No matter what time of the day, begin your ritual at Ritual Cafe downtown. Ritual Cafe, DSMIowa.com.
Drug and alcohol addiction slowly steals a person's identity, tearing away pieces of their life little by little until one day it seems like the hope of a happy future is gone and there's no chance of getting it back. Here at St. Gregory Retreat Centers, we can assure you that there is hope. Our unique approach to recovery begins with the understanding that the dysfunction and damage caused by addiction can be overcome, not just dealt with. Don't let another day go by. Call St. Gregory today.
From the Remax Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
I'm a writer.
Hey guys, we're back. All right. Well, that was painless. We're joined in the studio by a buddy of mine, Jeremiah Tuhn. He is the co-owner of Brolester Records. They are a much needed entity in the local music scene. Such bands as Super Chief, North of Grand, Patrick Beard and Rushy Razors. They're just a few of the bands that you guys cover. How you doing tonight?
Good.
What's new and exciting? You found your way downtown okay?
Yeah, that's not too bad. I've actually been in the studio before.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, so once you started telling me where it was at, I was like, I've been there.
Oh, right on. So how's the record business going?
It's going. Definitely interesting. I heard you guys talking earlier about CD sales being up or down or whatever, but
how's that? Is that?
We definitely sell. Well, it depends on like a band like Super Chief. We sell a lot more downloads than we do CDs. But then North of Grand, we sell way more CDs than we do downloads. So it just kind of varies. But Super Chief's also a lot popular outside of the country than like North of Grand is. So
right, I did an article on. I actually reviewed the Super Chief album when it came out, and I can keep track of where people are logging in from to read certain articles. And I noticed that Germany, Japan, and there's a couple other pockets in Europe where Super Chief seems to be really big.
Right.
And that's pretty cool. I mean,
yeah, it's definitely really cool. Like Norway, I mean, they're kind of
home of Valiant Thor.
Yeah, I figure Odin be praised by Super Chief is what got them the sales there. But
right.
What's
so do you get a lot of mail order requests for these local bands?
Out of the country, 50-50, but across the U.S., yeah, I get a handful, So
are you at a point where you've had to print new CDs, or have you?
We haven't yet.
No,
just because the thing with the Super Chief, Corporate Dynamite, it basically we re-released it because it was already released, and then we picked it up and repressed it. So I mean,
right,
we pressed a whole bunch, so nothing's out of print yet.
So I mentioned 3 bands. Are there other bands that I haven't mentioned that you're?
Those are the 3 like that are actually like deals with us. Then we do some distro deals with a band from Iowa City called Blizzard at Sea. Another band from Iowa City called Muddy Rails. They're a punk band. A band from Portland, Oregon called Bison. and then a band from the UK called Astrolonaut, and then a band from Ireland called Electric Taurus. And from Des Moines, we do one with 100 Mondays.
Wow.
So
how does one, let's say I wanted to check out this band, this Electric Tortoise, how would I, like, do you have a promotional website, or how does that work?
Yeah, we do everything through our website, push it that way, social media stuff. Our website's actually down right now because it's being all revamped and everything, but we do stuff like that. Electric Taurus, they pretty much had a big enough following where they're at that they just wanted it easier for them to sell CDs in the States.
Gotcha.
I mean, they have enough following that we didn't really have to push them any. So
how did it come to be that you, like, just one day we were sitting around with your buddy and said, hey, let's start a record company? I mean, I know, like, Greg Ginn with SST Records was all, pretty much grassroots, that type of thing. Is that...
Actually, we knew another buddy who had been a part of a record label a long time ago, which it's a record label that still exists here in town, but Milk and Herpes Records. Not too many people know about it because they...
It's a great combination, by the way.
Right. They like to keep it, if you don't know about it, it's cooler type of thing. I don't really agree with that, but...
Sorry about that, you guys. Well, you're probably safe with the show, but...
But one of our buddies was talking about it, and then we just talked about drunk one night. We both been musicians most of our lives, so we're like, let's just start a record label and just drunk, whatever. And then, like, we talked about a few days later sober, and I was like, man, I got some money. And he's like, I got some money. I was like, let's do it,
Is it that simple? I mean, what's the first step?
We did a lot of research on indie labels, like what their contracts are, and I actually emailed guys that used to own some indie labels, and surprisingly enough, they had no problem emailing me the contracts they used.
Wow.
So we just looked at that, read over it, be like, okay, like, if we were in a band that was basically doing everything on our own, if someone approached us, would we accept this? And so we just took stuff that we would want to be offered without the mindset that we're going to be millionaires type of thing. So, and then we just found a lawyer and said, write this up, and she took care of everything else.
And you guys have you guys have your own studio that you do your recording in? Or
we don't do any of the recording.
No.
We don't do any of the, we do pressing and marketing and promotion stuff.
Excellent.
So, I mean, it would be nice. And I mean, it's not like it's something we definitely talked about, but we're just not at that point.
What's the biggest challenge you see with, like, I mean, there's a lot of talent in this town. I mean, is your, like, main objective to tap into all of it? Or, I mean, are you very selective in who you choose?
Well, we started out that way, but as times change, we got to kind of change what we do and who we want. And we've kind of also, that's why we started doing more distro deals too, is because, like, before we were like, we just want to sign a band. If they already got an album, we don't want anything to do with them, blah, blah, blah. And then we're like, that's stupid.
You said distro deal?
Yeah, we just distribute it and we get a little cut off of it, but not much. But yeah, there's tons of great bands in this town, and like I said, we've revamped everything that we've been thinking of, even as recent as like 6 months ago. So I mean, we're gonna offer all types. Like, we used to, when we first signed, like, Super Chief and Patrick's Beard and North of Grand, like, we offered all those guys the same exact deals. Now we kind of want to tailor deals to the band with,
Right.
Like, if they got a big following, then we'll offer them more money. If they're kind of like green, then maybe, we dial back how much we would get.
Sure. And that seems fair.
I mean, we don't recoup any costs. So, I mean, if we sign your band, press a whole bunch of albums, whether it be vinyl or cassettes or CD or download, I mean, as soon as you sell one is the day you make, as soon as you sell one, you start making money. We don't, we're that's what we're doing. We're putting money in, we're taking a risk on you guys. And if you don't sell a single album, then we just eat that.
So you do press vinyl?
We haven't yet, but I would like to. My partner would like to. He's a little bit smarter when it comes to handling the money than I am, because I just want to. We got money, let's spend it. And
I mean, is it you're getting call for that though?
I think there's some bands that I think with Super Chief we could push it, especially overseas, north of Grand with all their fans. I mean, next month they'll do their 10-year anniversary show. So I mean, their fans would want it as well. I think it's just one of those things. Do we press it up ahead of time, or do you do a Kickstarter? What do you do? So,
what's the let's say there's a band that wants to be a part of your record label. Is it as simple as giving you a call and having that discussion, or I mean, is it more?
Just send me a CD.
Send you a CD.
Send me a CD. If I like what I hear, I'll get in touch with you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I said, like when we started off, our mindset was completely different than it is now. Before we were like, well, can we sell these guys? And do we want to put that much money into someone we don't think we can sell? Excuse me. Now we're to the point where it's like, well, do we think they're good enough? Do we like them enough?
Right.
And if we like them enough, if between the band and us, we can't push 300 to 400 CDs between the two parties together, neither one of us should be doing it, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
So
is that typical? Is a typical number as far as
that's a good number. I feel. I mean, that would make us not break even, but get pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean the bands. I mean they're paying for their recording anyway. They're gonna press CDs anyway. But if they sign with us, then they don't have to worry about paying for that.
Right.
So
you take all the liability basically.
Pretty much. I mean, if we sell stuff, we get a cut of it, but we also put a lot of money into it.
Mm-hmm.
But they're gonna get paid, and then where they're gonna make their money is selling the CDs at their shows. So because the way we do it is like we're like a warehouse. Like you're in a band, you want 30 CDs for your next 5 shows, just buy 30 from us. You don't have to press up 1,000 then that way.
Right.
And
you also stock the local CD shops and stuff too. Is that?
Yep. I keep at least Red Rooster Records up on Euclid, and then Triple Z on Ingersoll.
And did I see maybe Super Chief out at FYI?
Maybe.
Yeah. Or is FYI or FYE? FYE, yeah.
It might be out there actually. But I try to keep the local stuff, like you said, those local shops I work with. But
yeah, it's nice to go local when you can.
Yeah.
Sure. So, did you have any questions, Mr. Clean?
Yeah. You go out to the local shows much? Do you do a lot of like talent scouting?
I haven't been recently, just because I just haven't. I know most of the bands in this town.
Okay. Are there any ones right now that have grabbed your attention for like potential?
And well, I mean, they're half local. The Vanden Arms. I don't know if you know who the Vanden Arms are.
Mm-mm.
They're like a Celtic punk rock band, pretty much like Dropkick Murphys. A couple of guys live in Des Moines. A couple of guys live in Kansas City. I think one guy lives out in Marshalltown. But I love those guys. I'd like to work out a deal with them. They've been around for probably like 8 years. They just don't play that many shows in town anymore. I like the Maw a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I wish those guys would do a full length.
Right.
I mean, and the thing is they're a prog band. I mean, they can do 6 songs. Then that's a full length because they're all 10-minute long songs.
Right. You were at one time close to having a deal with them, or I mean,
yeah,
just from the rumor mill.
Yeah, we were, and that was when we weren't working with EPs.
Mm-hmm.
But now that we have changed our thinking, like I said, in the last 6 months, we're not opposed to EPs anymore, and I just haven't got in touch with those guys.
Right.
Because, like I said, the band we've been pursuing lately is the Vanden Arms.
Okay.
And
the Vanden Arms.
Yeah.
Now that you say that, I remember that name.
Yeah, and then I mean, we've talked to some bands from out of state too. I mean, we're not just working with just local bands. I mean, there's a bunch of great local bands here. I mean, I like Viva Montesa. I think they're great. I like Jacob County. Those guys are great too.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see those guys put out a CD, which I heard they might be doing next year or so.
That'd be nice. And then there's this band from Minneapolis called Red Desert. I love those guys, and we wanted to put out their latest album and just couldn't get the deal worked out together, but.
Excellent. What's the biggest like overall challenge? Is it just time? I mean, because you have a real job too, right?
Yeah.
So
it's that you gotta I own a house. I have a cat, dog, girlfriend. I got all that stuff. I work, I play hockey, I got tons of stuff in my life, and to do this too, you know.
It's amazing that you can find time to do all these things. You know, there's,
Right.
you know, that's the cool thing about musicians, though, man. They always seem to find the time to do the things that they love to do, and it's pretty cool. So you play hockey? Is there like roller hockey or ice hockey?
I play roller hockey. I'd like to get into an ice hockey league, but they're just expensive, so expensive.
And you got a team that you play? Is it like
we're sponsored by Mullets.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Excellent.
So, I played it with those guys probably like 3 years now. So
Very
good.
cool.
Good times.
Well, hey, we're going to go to another break here. And we'll be back in just a couple minutes with Jeremiah Tuhn from Brolester Records. And Jacob County will be playing some live music for you also. So we'll see you guys in just a couple minutes.
From the Remax.
I brought you these like Blizzard at
Concept Studios. This is Webcast One Live.
Located on 13th Street between Grand and Locust, downtown Des Moines. The Ritual Cafe features an all-vegetarian menu, unique specialty drinks, and they proudly serve organic coffee and espresso. It's the only place in town with all-natural fruit juice smoothies made with hemp nut. They feature live music on the weekends and open mic and unplugged poetry once a month. They also showcase local artists on the wall. No matter what time of the day, begin your ritual at Ritual Cafe downtown. Ritual Cafe, DSMIowa.com.
Drug and alcohol addiction slowly steals a person's identity, tearing away pieces of their life little by little until one day it seems like the hope of a happy future is gone and there's no chance of getting it back. Here at St. Gregory Retreat Centers, we can assure you that there is hope. Our unique approach to recovery begins with the understanding that the dysfunction and damage caused by addiction can be overcome, not just dealt with. Don't let another day go by. Call St. Gregory today.
From the Remax Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
All right, welcome back to the Bigfoot Diaries Live. We are joined in the studio with one of my favorite people in Des Moines, Jacob County. How you doing, Jacob?
Doing good. How you doing?
Pretty good. You might need to sit just a little closer to the mic there.
Oh, okay.
But well, so you braved the icy Des Moines March to come down to the studios. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
You guys
Thanks for having me.
You guys had a gig this weekend, didn't you?
Tyler Thompson gig
at the Greenwood.
Yeah, that was fun.
And how did you
tight?
How did you guys all fit in there without blowing the roof off that place?
Tight. Yeah,
because that is a small place for sure.
Oh man, it was a lot of fun. It was full.
How did that gig just suddenly pop up out of the blue? Because it seemed like Monday I heard nothing about it, and then suddenly it was on.
Yeah. Well, last week when Jacob County and the Damaged Goods played there, that was actually supposed to be Tyler Thompson.
Is that right?
But Paul's been playing at the Greenwood a bunch lately, and so Bill's giving him some of these nights, you know. So we just really wanted to do it. Didn't work out the first night, so the Damaged Goods did it, and then it kind of popped up again.
Okay.
You know? Yeah.
You're in several bands. You have the Jacob County, the Damaged Goods. You play guitar with Stuttering Jimmy and the Goosebumps. You help out with Tyler Thompson when they're playing. Gosh, you go back to Slopsicle, Salt of Society.
Johnny Reefer Seed and the High
Johnny
Rollers.
Reefer Seed and the High Rollers. Yeah. And all these bands can kind of just pop up whenever, and that's what's kind of cool about, you know.
420, we're doing one all together. The Damaged Goods, the Goosebumps, and Johnny Reefer Seed and the High Rollers.
Where's that show at?
At the Hole.
At the Whole Avenue. Nice.
Yeah. So it's free.
Do you get paid triple time for that then?
I hope.
Yeah. So we're in the studio with Jeremiah Tuhn from Brolester Records and Jacob County from all the bands I just mentioned. If you guys want to call in, ask these guys any questions. If you have any questions about the record making business or, you know, the Damaged Goods, or, you know, we have kind of a weird eclectic little mix here because we have Mr. Clean who could clean up after the damaged goods.
Perfect.
But so you brought your acoustic guitar with you tonight?
Yeah, I have a guitar.
We'll take a break here in a few minutes, and then we'll probably have you tune up and play a couple songs for us if you would.
I can do that.
What are you going to play?
Well, I was thinking about this new one that I haven't
I haven't
played yet. The
Really?
band hasn't played it yet, so I'm thinking maybe I'll play it. That
Excellent.
one here.
Excellent.
And then I'm not sure yet.
Right on.
Maybe one you want to hear or something. We'll see.
I like all of them.
Okay.
So-
I got a few in mind, so we'll be fine.
So Jeremiah, what do you see yourself in 5 years with your record company? Quitting your job and actually just making records?
I wish, but I mean, let's be honest. That's what every musician in this town wants to do. So obviously, that's what I want to do too. But what we went into doing this business is to maybe listen to some bands we never heard of, put out some records we otherwise wouldn't have.
Mm-hmm.
Meet a bunch of new people that I probably wouldn't have either.
You covered a lot of ground in the short time you guys been. Because how long have you been making the record? Just a couple of years, right?
It'll be 2 years, May 2nd.
Yeah, you guys have. I mean, I was unfamiliar with most of the bands you mentioned. So you guys are doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes. That's
it's and our first release was Patrick's Beard, and that was October 11th of 2011. So
Okay.
I mean, when we started in May, we still didn't put out a record for another 4 months
Mhm.
or 6 months or whatever it was.
So that was pretty euphoric when you guys actually had
it
the record put out.
It was, and it was a lot more stuff went into it than we thought. Like we thought, you know what, we'll just get all the stuff, we'll have it pumped out, it'll be here in a few weeks, and then all this crap comes up, and I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah.
But
so he's obviously still making music. He's down in Austin at the
Yep.
moment. Is there a second album coming out soon, or do you know? Is there
he's in the works on recording one.
Is he?
But what we've talked about, I don't know if it's really coming as quickly as he wants, but I know he's recording a few songs here and there.
Gotcha.
And I think putting his band together in Austin was a little bit more of a headache than he thought it was going to be.
He thought he was going to swoop down there and just.
I mean, there's tons of musicians, but
Right.
when I talk to him, all those musicians they're like Jake, they're in like 100 different bands,
Right.
you know?
Yeah,
So
for sure.
it's hard to, and if they have families and full-time jobs, it's starting to be in studio 3 or 4 nights a week.
Right. How does talk a little bit about that, Jake? Because you do have a family, and you have it like like Jeremiah. You have another job,
Mhm.
or a real job, as some people would say.
It's busy.
And I mean, how easy is it just to on a Wednesday schedule a gig for Saturday night and pull it off? I mean, that's got to be a challenge.
Well, with our bands, it's been pretty good. The High Rollers and like Tyler Thompson, we hadn't played forever.
And you guys just stepped
And
right
we just
into it.
went and played a 9 to 1 gig,
Mhm. 4 hours,
which is brutal,
Right.
But yeah, it's weird.
Did a lot of people pop out to see that show?
It was full.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had my daughter this weekend. I wanted to hit that, and
It was full, and it was rare because it wasn't like all the hardcores that would have been there.
It was the
so
Greenwood
it was
crowd?
Like, yeah, it was. Yeah.
I remember seeing when you played with Tyler Thompson at the old AKs and acoustic set out in West Des Moines.
wow.
That was
Yeah.
the last time I saw you guys play. That had to have been like 4 years ago.
At least. Yeah.
Wade, is he in Alistair Hagg? Is that what he's in?
Wade's in Junk Poet and Alistair Hagg.
Yeah, Alistair Hagg, I think they're awesome. Junk
Yeah.
Poet's great, of course.
Paul is also in Alistair Hagg.
Yeah.
He's a drummer.
And don't they work with Dolly Parton on this side? Or
They
something?
did. They toured with her on this whole last tour.
As musicians?
No. The roadieing and tuning
Mhm.
guitars and all that.
Is that something?
But yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool. All right, well, we're going to go to our final break here, and we'll come back, and we'll have Jacob County all tuned up, and he'll play a couple songs for us, and we're looking forward to that. So we'll just see y'all in a couple minutes.
From the Remax Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
located on 13th Street between Grand and Locust, downtown Des Moines. The Ritual Cafe features an all-vegetarian menu, unique specialty drinks, and they proudly serve organic coffee and espresso. It's the only place in town with all-natural fruit juice smoothies made with hemp nut. They feature live music on the weekends and open mic and unplugged poetry once a month. They also showcase local artists on the wall. No matter what time of the day, begin your ritual at Ritual Cafe downtown. Ritual Cafe, DSMIowa.com.
Drug and alcohol addiction slowly steals a person's identity, tearing away pieces of their life little by little until one day it seems like the hope of a happy future is gone and there's no chance of getting it back. Here at St. Gregory Retreat Centers, we can assure you that there is hope. Our unique approach to recovery begins with the understanding that the dysfunction and damage caused by addiction can be overcome, not just dealt with. Don't let another day go by. Call St. Gregory today.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
All right, you guys, we're back in the studio with one of my favorite people in Des Moines, Jacob County, sans the damaged goods, but he's going to play a couple songs for us. The first one he said is a song that he hasn't played in public yet. Is that right, Jake?
Yeah, no, I haven't.
Gosh.
Brand new.
I'm pretty honored. It's going to be a treat. So, yeah, kick it off, buddy. Let's hear it.
Cool. It's kind of like a working man's tune.
Merle Haggard.
Charlie was late this morning, not as late as Don. Don, he's always late, Charlie, he's always on. So Don asked Charlie, hey man, what's wrong? Charlie just shook his head, turned his headphones on. Boss man come down about quarter till, gave Don and Charlie a rash in hell. Said you gotta be here on time, get these parts on down the line. You don't wanna be here, I'll get someone who will. That's when Charlie said, when's it gonna be my time, Lord? When's it gonna be my time? When's my shooting star gonna answer? And when will my light shine? When will the man stop kicking me like a hound? When's it gonna be my time, Lord, when I'm 6 feet beneath the ground? Boss gets here every day about 9:30, and you better believe he won't get his shirt dirty. Don says you watch, he's gone by 3:30. Unless, of course, you know he's gotta leave work early. Charlie went home to wash off work. Don's down at the bar talking about how his boss is a f***ing jerk. Says I gotta be here on time, get these parts on down the line. You don't wanna be here, I'll get someone who will. That's when Don said, when's it gonna be my time, Lord? When's it gonna be my time? When's my shooting star gonna answer? And when will my light shine? When will the man stop kicking me like a hound? When's it gonna be my time, Lord, when I'm 6 feet beneath the ground? water cooler was buzzing like a bee. Some boss on the news last night, handcuffed on his knee. Something about cocaine and a handful of cash, whiskey in the glove box and a fully emptied flask. The arresting officer says I was the first one to crash. Wrapped up old Barracuda, no pinned on the dash. Says I gotta be here on time, get them parts on down the line. I don't wanna be here, get someone who will. That's when Boss Man said, when's it gonna be my time, Lord? When's it gonna be my time? When's my shooting star gonna answer? When will my light shine? And when will the man stop kicking me like a hound? When's it gonna be my time, Lord, when I'm 6 feet beneath the ground?
Jacob, nice job. Great song.
Cool.
Is that a Damaged Goods song, or is that
Oh
just?
yeah, that'll be a Damaged Goods song.
Nice.
Yeah.
Man, we're lucky to have you in the studio.
Well, thank you.
Well, the phones are lighting up. Everybody's got requests. Let's see. What's that? That one song you play with the Damaged Goods? It's gosh, why am I drawing it? I've been sitting here for the last minute trying to think of the name of it. It's the Danger or this is bad radio, man.
I don't know, but for the weather, let's go with Ice Out on My Sidewalk.
Let's do that. That works.
Since we're having another nice storm.
Nice spring storm.
All right. It's really about moving back to my hometown and running into the same old stuff, you know.
Excellent.
Well, there's ice out on my sidewalk again. Old Mr. Frost been creeping in. Will he make me fall like he did back when there was ice out on my sidewalk again? There's hounds out barking on my lawn. Looks like it's time for moving on. Will they chase me down? Will they know I'm gone? Will those hounds keep barking all night long? There's trouble knocking on my door. Why'd he come around? What'd he come here for? Last time he came to town, I thought I settled that score. That trouble knocking on my door. Well, the angel on my right says, boy, you be good. Devil on my left says, I think you should. Just let that trouble in, boy, and never mind them hounds. The angel says, boy, he's gonna pull you down. Well, there's ice out on my sidewalk again. Trouble's on my doorstep, trying to get in. Hound's been around since the day I was born. The angel says, boy, you just leave him alone.
Jacob County. Thank you for coming in, Jacob.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
We're going to take another quick break here. We'll be right back.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
located on 13th Street between Grand and Locust, downtown Des Moines. The Ritual Cafe features an all-vegetarian menu, unique specialty drinks, and they proudly serve organic coffee and espresso. It's the only place in town with all-natural fruit juice smoothies made with hemp nut. They feature live music on the weekends and open mic and unplugged poetry once a month. They also showcase local artists on the wall. No matter what time of the day, begin your ritual at Ritual Cafe downtown. Ritual Cafe, DSMIowa.com.
Drug and alcohol addiction slowly steals a person's identity, tearing away pieces of their life little by little until one day it seems like the hope of a happy future is gone and there's no chance of getting it back. Here at St. Gregory Retreat Centers, we can assure you that there is hope. Our unique approach to recovery begins with the understanding that the dysfunction and damage caused by addiction can be overcome, not just dealt with. Don't let another day go by. Call St. Gregory today.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
All right, welcome back to the Bigfoot Diaries Live. For our very final segment here, I'd like to thank every single one of you for viewing in and watching what I like to call the audio train wreck that this is. If there's any question whether or not we are amateurs, this episode probably
proved it.
Probably verified that. The Bigfoot Diaries is a website. We cater to music on the international level, but we also like to keep it close, close to home here with the local scene. And you can tune into that on the World Wide Web at thebigfootdiaries.blogspot.com, or if it's easier, just Google Bigfoot Diaries, and usually it comes right there to the top. If you want to contact us for anything, you can reach us at bigfootdiariesblog@gmail.com, and we just got a post office box. It's P.O. Box 1805, Des Moines, Iowa 50305. So if you're a band out there and you want us to check out some of your music, do a review, or just want to send us hate mail, that's good about to do that. And you can find us on Facebook and Twitter also. Jacob was just in here. I thought I would mention that on April 12th, he is playing at the Gas Lamp here in Des Moines with Jacob County and Stuttering Jimmy and the Goosebumps. And then on May 11th, he's playing at the House of Bricks with the Damaged Goods. And if you have a chance to see it, go. Both these bands are, it's the cream of the crop here in Des Moines, and it's fantastic. Our next show is April 21st, Sunday night. Our musical guest then will be Thankful Dirt, and we'll have Mitch Newman in the studio with us, who spent some time over in Sarajevo in that area, and he's got some pretty good stories about the music scene over there. He'll be sharing some of those stories with us. Maybe it's Bosnia. I'm getting confused again, but this is what happens when you don't carry a script with you. Mr. Clean, thanks for coming in tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Will you come back and join us again?
I will do. And I'll have articles posted from Bigfoot Diaries. I'm a little backlogged working with 4 bands, but I'll catch up and show you what I'm listening to these days.
That'd be great. And Shep, as always, it's good to have you make the
good
long
to be here.
drive.
Good to be here.
Any parting words of wisdom?
You know me better than that. No wisdom at all.
Sebastian, as always, it's a pleasure to have you on.
Yeah, I got some new CDs for my collection. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thanks, Jeremiah.
Thanks, Jeremiah.
But that's going to wrap it up, you guys. Thanks to Jeremiah Tuhn and Jacob County for coming in tonight. Thanks to you for viewing, and thanks to Sarah for calling. Hey, we've had a caller each show, so maybe next month we'll
more calls, more suggestions, more fun.
Right. Less
well said.
Less awkwardness.
More scripting too.
Until next month, we'll see you. Thank you for tuning in.
Later.